Howdy folks, Nathan Adlin here from the Fast Lane Truck, and I'm coming at you from the Colorado National Speedway, and I've got
Mr. Truck.
Mr. Truck. What do we have here?
We have a 2015 Ram 1500 Bighorn quad cab, two-wheel drive, EcoDiesel, and an 8-speed knob.
That's right, it's got the knob.
Nathan, I can't believe we're in the darn EcoDiesel, and you know I almost said a bad word.
Yeah. Are you ready to start, my friend?
We are ready to start. We are heading up the Ike Gauntlet. I've got the stopwatch. We're in the EcoDiesel, and here comes the start, and right now. Now, one of the things we've been doing is we're not paying as much attention to the time as we are how it tows.
That's right. Partly because, I mean, there are cars that are in the way, there are traffic issues and whatnot. You can't have a perfect run each and every time. It's actually dangerous if you wanted to do it that way. What we want to do is kind of use the time as an approximation of, oh, okay, did really well. Now, here's an example. Right now, I'm in wide open throttle and we're going 60. Speed limit here is 65. We're probably going to get up there, and then as we go up the hill, it'll probably drop down a bit.
Now, you know, it's taken us, what, almost 2 years to get this truck.
18 months and change.
Yeah, so I'm just a little concerned that Ram is worried that this truck has enough power to take on the Ike Gauntlet, because the Ike Gauntlet is an extreme test of a truck's ability, right? We started about 9,000 feet and go up to almost 12,000 feet. We're, 2 miles, almost 3 miles above sea level, and that means we're down 30% on power.
This is something a little bit different, folks. This is a 3-liter EcoDiesel. It's a V6, and it puts out 240 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. But most importantly, it puts out that torque way down at 2,000 RPM. So towing, well, it's pretty good. It's also hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission going straight to the rear wheels. This is a 4x2, not a 4x4. And that 8-speed, it's a knob. So if you like hockey, you're in luck. Yeah, now this is a turbo diesel, so we're not as down as other.
It does make up.
It makes a significant.
But look, you've got 240 horsepower, which isn't a lot, and of course for towing, it's 420 pound-foot of torque. Yep. But that 200 horsepower is more like 150. I'm doing that roughly right now, and that does hurt a truck. So I think that the Ram guys are aware of this. That's why they also sent us the 4x2, because it weighs less, right?
Yeah, and this is the best of all the towing vehicles, the way it's set up. The wheels, everything. This is the best setup that they could give us in order to tow effectively. Now, I can tell you this. Around town, it wasn't a problem towing the load. And we are towing quite a bit of, this is just about maxed out right now.
Yeah, we're towing, 7,200 pounds in trailer weight and an overall weight of 13,380, which is pretty much maxed out. And like I said, the target, of course, is the Ford F-150 2.7, because those guys compete head-to-head. And that truck did it in 7.38, going up with a 4.3 mpg average on the way up. And so, 7.38, that's a really good time, really good time.
We're not going to make that time at this rate. I am wide open throttle and we're only 55. This is one of our new test trailers. It's a 2015 load trail. That's actually a tilt trailer. Great for this purpose. We just put a new rock guard on. We've got toolboxes on it. This has 7,000 pound axles and it's self-adjusting brakes. This is a new trailer for them, just came out last fall. And our ballast, our weight on here is a 1968 Bronco half cab. This is the project truck for TFL Truck. And we're towing it today with this new 2015 Ram with the EcoDiesel. It's got a 392. Maximum towing capacity on it is 8,840 pounds.
And what we've loaded to here with our Bronco and our load trail is 7,200 pounds. So we're well under the limits.
Yeah. So we'll see what kind of a time we get, but yeah, it's going to be it's probably going to be a little bit slower, but we'll find out. The other thing is we have a 3.92 axle ratio, which of course also feeds into how well a truck can go.
And that is an option, by the way, and it's only a $50 option.
Yeah, and you know, once again, it's really hard to get our hands on these trucks, and I want to give a big shout out right now to Nick Kappa, who actually came to us with 3 trucks for this run. We've got this EcoDiesel, we've got the heavy-duty 2500 and the heavy-duty 3500, and they brought 3 trucks out, so I have to say thank you, Ram, thank you, Nick, for taking the time and the budget to actually bring those trucks out here.
Yeah, it certainly helps. And it's been a long time waiting. I mean, I know you guys have been very, very patient, and thank you for being patient with us. Look, we've been begging and screaming trying to get this truck for a long time. Now, it's important to understand that ever since Ram came up with this current style, it's been called cowboy chic by some. I call it badass chic. I don't really see the whole cowboy thing. I think it's got a little bit more street cred to it, especially if you get this package, which comes with these 20-inch wheels. Altogether, they haven't done much to change it this year, and they don't really need to. Now we're down to about 50 miles per hour. There it goes. Now I'm not downshifting, I'm not doing anything. It's doing it all itself. It's in tow haul mode, and I'm letting the entire truck do it. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, a lot of you guys say, hey, why don't you manually shift it into third or fourth to get the best possible power ratio, power band. But you know what? This is not a test of Nathan. It's a test, what I mean by that, of the driver. It's a test of the truck. So that's why we're always doing this and letting the truck shift for itself. How does it feel?
It feels fine. It's struggling a little bit because it's still at 50. It hasn't dropped below 50. Actually, we're going up a little bit. It doesn't like to go above 3,500 RPM.
Yeah.
But it's not making a whole lot of noise. I mean, it's relatively relaxed. The weight, we've had to redistribute the weight a few times to make sure that we had exactly the right amount of tongue weight and everything else. And by doing so, it's a relatively stable ride. No drama, you know what I mean? No loud noises. It's just kind of casually doing its thing. The only way you can find that this thing is struggling is that, we're not flying up here at 65.
Yeah, of course. It's a truck that's built for fuel efficiency.
Yep.
And there's always that trade-off between fuel efficiency and power, right? The more power, the less fuel efficient. The more fuel it uses, be it diesel or be it gasoline. So we are kind of in a situation right now where we've got the most fuel efficient half-ton truck, but when you put it into an extreme situation like this, you're going to find that it is a little bit, I shouldn't say underpowered, but certainly a little bit challenged.
Now this is the Bighorn model. It's the volume model that'll be purchased out there. So what you're looking at is one of the most popular trims. With that being said, the interior at first looks a little bit on the dull side when you look at the doors, but if you look a little bit harder, you're going to see not one, not two, but 4 different shades of material. You have this interesting chrome, you have this kind of dyed down gunmetal look, and then of course you have 2 different colors, black and this rubber kind of leather looking bluish stuff. What's important here is comfort, and the fact is you can put your elbow on here and it won't dent because this is actually soft, thank goodness. As for the seats, they are soft cloth and they are perfectly good in a summer day when you don't want your thighs to melt onto the seat. However, they seem to be very, very grippy. So if you have clothing that you're worried about, coming away when you're getting out of the vehicle, keep that in mind. Yeah, it's challenged, all right, but it's not. I've had worse. There have been a lot of.
That's what she said. Sorry, guys.
there have been a lot of mid-sized trucks that we've taken up this hill and that have struggled a lot more, and some full-size trucks that have had some issues as well. This one is not struggling that much. It's just very happy at 50 miles per hour, wide open throttle. That just seems to be where it's very happy. And so far, MPG is much better than a lot of the other trucks that we've played with as well. 6.2, but that doesn't mean anything until we get to the top and we average everything out.
Yeah, and keep in mind the sting in the tail is always just ahead of us because it gets steeper as we get higher. So not only does it get harder on the truck because there's less air density the higher we go, but the steeper it also gets. I'm amazed at how quiet this is, Nathan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not a lot of clatter or anything else going on.
It almost sounds like a gas engine.
Yeah, if you're in the other one, the 3500, the big boy, that sounds like a truck, and it's got clatter and everything else, and that's not a bad thing. It sounds like a truck. This, it just hums. It's literally just a nice hum, and we still haven't dipped below 50. As a matter of fact, we've jumped up a little bit. Now we're back at 50.
You know what I think about this truck? I think a lot of people bought this truck because they wanted kind of that manly brawn of a heavy duty because it's got the diesel in it.
Yeah.
But I think this truck is just kind of like a mellow, no problem. I'm just gonna do what you want to be. I'm not gonna do it in a hugely spectacular fashion, but I'm just gonna get the job done. That's what it feels like. And if you bought this truck because you kind of want those big cojones of a Raptor or American V8, you might be surprised that this is just such a mellow and easygoing truck.
Now I have here the sticker right here, and there are three important numbers. One, $33,290, that's the base price. $44,140, that is the as-tested price. And this one, which if I ever get this open is pretty cool, 23 miles per gallon combined. Now, those numbers are very close to some of the competitors out there, specifically the Ford F-150 with the 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine. I think these two go head to head in so many ways. It's going to be really interesting to see how this compares. Now, when you pair this truck against the EcoBoost, I can tell you how they're different from a driver's standpoint. The EcoBoost 2.7 in the Ford F-150, that one immediately gives you power and you can burn the tires and just launch. And it goes and goes and goes, and it has a very flat torque curve. Then it eventually drops. This, it has a very gradual torque curve, and it, unlike other diesels where they fall off a cliff after about 3,000 RPM, this one still has some good pull up to about 3,500 RPM.
All right, I got to interrupt because we are at the exact time that we hit with the Ford, 7:38. Now we're past that time, okay. So it is going to be slower.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about 40 seconds slower.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, guys, the as-tested price of this rig is $44,140, and the fuel economy, best in class, 23 combined, but the big number is 28 highway, and we're not going to get anywhere near that.
No, not in this run, but we are going to do an efficiency run with this truck.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually matches up, but on this run, we're actually doing pretty well. Look at that, 6.1.
Yeah, and that's what
the Ford was at 4.3.
Exactly. I mean, we're almost there. We're probably 20 seconds away from the light. But once again, not a lot of drama. I feel pretty confident behind the wheel, driving the truck. It's not wandering. There's no real pogoing either. It just feels like it's just happy to do its thing. I'm about to run Andre off the road because he's
not getting out of your way.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's getting out of my way now.
Well, we're not running people off the road. Andre knows better. So we're coming up, and right now we're a minute behind what the Ford did. But we've had a clean run, so you had a wide open throttle. So,
all the way.
Yeah, it's been a good day for that. We haven't had much traffic. And here we come to the lights. The truck, did it. If you're looking for power, I suspect the Ford is the way to go. But if you're looking for fuel
efficiency, this baby is absolutely trouncing everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes.
Here it comes. So here comes light. Stop right there. There we go. 903, and we're at
6.1 mpg,
which is almost 2 more than the Ford did at 4.3 mpg.
6.1. That is impressive. And part of it has to do with the fact that it is programmed to run at that RPM. It doesn't want to, overcook its diesel, I think that was really impressive from a gasoline, from a MPG standpoint. And then the other side of it is, it went up pretty slow, but it was steady and it was rock solid. Didn't feel like it was wandering or anything else. So there's good and bad. But for the most part, for those of you who want the efficiency with decent power, that's the way this EcoDiesel seems to go. You know what I'm saying? That's the right way.
And I think part of that is also that it has an 8-speed.
Yeah, that 8-speed's a little weird. Now, keep in mind, you can't play with the dial and lower, go into a different gear. You have to change gears on the steering wheel if that's what you want to do. And indeed, I'm willing to bet we could have knocked off several seconds from that run had I played with it. But once again, we only let the vehicle choose the gear to be in because that means it's absolutely straight across the board. You can't base it on my driving or Roman's driving. You base it on what the vehicle was programmed to do.
All right, guys, there you have it. We've got the EcoDiesel after almost 2 years. You've seen the run. We'll let you now battle it out in the comments section.
Yeah, oh, and by the way, steering has been great, and the brakes have been pretty good. And I got to tell you, even I've run this trailer without the trailer brakes on, and it worked pretty good on this truck. So all in all, a really good setup for towing. Do not recommend going maximum, but if you drop 1,000 pounds off this thing, this baby would be sweet.
As always, this is
Nathan
and Roman saying thanks for watching, and check out tfltruck.com for more news, views, and of course,
real world reviews.
And by the way, if you want all the numbers, go to TFL Truck because Andre is a numbers guy and he puts them all there.
Yeah, he certainly does. Oh, by the way, coming soon, Golden Hitch Award. We've mentioned it a few times,
Right.
and we're going to mention it some more.
Yeah, that's why we've got this truck, because we've got the Gold Hitch coming up in April, and we're going to find out what's the best towing truck in the land. Is it this one, Nathan?
Ooh.
We don't know.
You'll have to find out on the 18th?
No, much earlier than that.
The 8th?
Yeah, like beginning of April. So
There you go.
Check out TFL Truck for more Gold Hitch information and announcements, but we've got a lot more trucks to run up the hill. See you guys next time. Ciao.
Ciao.